Coming up on Hawk TV,
we take a look at a substitute,
former students,
and wrestling's district meet.
Say my name, if no one is around you. Say baby I love you, if you went running gay. Say my name, say my name, say my name, say round, love you, say say my name, say round, say my name, say my name, say round, love you, say my name, say round, say my name, say round.
Good morning, Hebron High School. I'm Karen Ashinali.
And I'm Spencer Rojas. Two former students have returned as teachers. I gotta take a closer look.
After graduation, most students look forward to venture out and experience new things. Not many 18-year-olds have dreams of returning to their hometown, and fewer plan to return to their alma mater.
This is a great place. We have great teachers, we have a great school, we have great students. The students here are really what made me want to come back. I really enjoy teaching students at Hebron. I've taught at other schools, and there's really no place else I'd rather be but here.
It's a really good school from a teaching perspective, and I knew that going in. A really highly respected district. May not have felt about it that way as a student, but once you get out and start looking for jobs, it was just a really good opportunity coming out of school.
Wurzbach graduated in 2010, and Boss graduated in 2003. Both have seen different changes since their time as students.
And the ninth grade campus is very different. Just having the ninth grade campus, separating the freshmen from the rest of the classes, so they're not walking around with seniors in the hall most of the time. They may have electives, but it was starting to get really crowded. And I would think the ninth grade campus has helped that a little bit, but the school is still growing so much that I'm sure that still happens every once in a while.
The school itself hasn't really, the size hasn't changed or anything that much, but the neighborhood around it, like all the houses on Charles Road and everything, they weren't there when I was here. Like I know the family who used to own all that pasture. It's just weird because this used to be like Charles Road was a blacktop road and it was in the middle of nowhere and nobody knew where the school was. And like there was one time I think when one of the rival football teams or something was coming out here to play us, and they actually went to Prestonwood Baptist Church because they thought that was the school, because nobody knew where Hebron was. So I just think the environment around here is what's changed the most.
They see their experience as former students as an advantage because they feel that they can connect with the students in their classes.
But usually it surprises them, like, what, you went to school here? But I would guess they think it's pretty cool. They asked me questions about it, what it was like. And like I said, every once in a while I know students like who I knew their older siblings. But yeah, I'm sure it's interesting for them. I know it probably would have been for me, having somebody that went through, at the school that I was at, but they're usually pretty surprised.
It's fine, it's not a secret. So in fact, I think it actually makes it almost easier for me to teach students here in a way because I'm from here, I grew up here. This is where my home was for 18 years of my life, and so I really feel like to some extent I understand just students from Hebron better than other places I've been because this is where I'm from, this is my home.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Spencer Rojas. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Spencer. Combat veteran and substitute Robert Blunt has a new outlook on life. Now to Sophia Kraft for the story.
So my name is Mr. Blunt.
Since he was a child, Robert Blunt was exposed to the profession of teaching. Both of his parents were teachers, and as a result, his passion for giving back grew. To fulfill his dream of serving others, Blunt entered the military after his high school graduation.
Since I have been old enough to know kind of what I wanted to do, I wanted to be in the military. G.I. Joe was my heroes. I know that sounds cliche, but I grew up wanting to be just like them. I believed in something bigger than myself. I always believed there was people out there that were fighting for all of our freedoms, and I wanted to be one of them. I wanted to be somebody that gave more than they took.
Blunt served in the military for 8 years. After his tour of duty in Iraq ended, he returned home anxious and depressed. According to research and development, 20% of Iraq veterans were diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. Within years after coming home, Blunt was faced with the new challenge of living with PTSD.
every day was a struggle. I'd sit there and have to fight to just go on every day, just to get out of bed, to wondering what was wrong with me because I didn't know.
He was always there in his room. He would never come out of his room. He wouldn't go anywhere except at night. He wouldn't go to the stores except at night before they closed, when there'd be less people.
Today, Blunt can be seen with his 4-year-old battle buddy named Thor. His service dog is trained to relieve PTSD symptoms such as anxiety while being in a crowded room.
When these guys join the military, they're given a uniform, they're given a weapon, and they're told that the guy next to them is their battle buddy. And a battle buddy is just like what it refers. You know, when you're in school, you have that buddy system, so when you go on a trip, you've got somebody with you. And the battle buddy really refers to the fact that it's somebody who has your back and makes sure that, you know, you're a safe way, you know, that you're in a safe position. And if somebody comes up behind, then they're there to protect you.
Since then, I've seen immense change in my life. And I've even had friends and family members that have told me that just having him has just shocked them because of how much change that they have seen.
When asked about his future, Blunt responded with his ambition to become a computer science teacher. However, his biggest dream hasn't changed in years.
You know, I want to be able to sit there and see my brothers and sisters be able to come home from the military and be able to accept what they have and what the hard knocks that they've received for being in the military and be accepted for it and not be stigmatized for having PTSD.
Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Sophia Kraft. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Sophia. Blunt plans to continue subbing throughout LASD until he receives his Master's in Computer Science and a teaching certification. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Last year, the girls' soccer team beat Plano West to win the state title. Reese Whittle takes a look at tonight's rematch against the Wolves.
Last season, the girls' soccer team went undefeated in district play and won a state title. Due to their successful season, the girls have seen a change in the way their opponents prepare for their matchup.
After winning, some teams play more defensive and others play more attackive. It depends on which team they are and what formation they play.
You know, I think teams are taking a more conservative approach. Instead of playing us straight up, they're playing us more defensively. You know, they don't want to give anything up. They certainly don't want to give up a goal. We're not changing anything that we did last year. We're going straight up the way we did, so teams know exactly what we're bringing. We just feel like we're the better team.
Tonight will be the first time Hebron and Plano West have matched up since the shootout in Austin back in April. The Hawks have been preparing all week.
We're ready. We're going to be more attacking. We're going to go at them more, and we're going to try and score during the game so we don't take it to a nail-biter and do PKs or tie them or whatever. But we're ready. We're definitely ready.
I went and scouted Plano West against Plano last week, and I just told the girls I'm calling this game unfinished business. I feel like we should have won the game in regulation. We outplayed Plano West. We were the better team. Obviously, we proved it in PKs, but Friday's unfinished business. We're going to go out there and prove it on the field again why we're the better team, and I think the girls will do that. I think they're up for it.
After having the state title game go into penalty kicks, the team hopes for an easier victory.
I think that last year was the first time we saw them all season, so we know what they're capable of, and this season we get to play them twice in district and then maybe again in playoffs, so I think we're going to be good.
I think the score is going to be different. I think it's not going to go 0-0. That would be a tie. We're not PKs or anything. It's not at the biggest stage, but it's Plano West, and they remember what we did last year, and we do too. But I just feel like we're still the better team, and having watched them play, I still think we can take them. I'm hoping that Friday the girls will show it in regulation and go up 1-2, 3-0, whatever it may be.
The Hawks look to stay undefeated in district tonight with a win. I'm Reese Woodhill, reporting for Hawk TV. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Reese. You can watch the state rematch tonight at Clark Stadium in Plano. With the basketball season ending and soccer in district play, the wrestling team adds to the busy schedule as they compete in their district meet this weekend. Courtney Foster gives us a closer look.
Wrestling is one of the only high school sports where athletes compete one-on-one with an opponent. The isolation on the mat can add to the intensity of the match.
Man, being on the mat, it's exciting. I mean, you can hear everybody just yelling and screaming, and you're just so into it. Whenever you're wrestling, you feel something that I can't explain. It's just when you're on the mat, it's crazy.
Despite wrestling being an individual sport, the wrestlers still rely on the teammates to be successful.
You know, it's great. The team aspect is really great. You know, you're wrestling, you got everybody cheering you on from the side, even the people warming up, they're still cheering you on from the side. If you lose, they'll just be like, hey man, we need to work better. You lose, the person who loses will work with them in practice and stuff like that. It's definitely a great team sport, great team aspect. A lot of people think that, oh, wrestling, it's an individual sport, but no, it's more than that, because you need to actually train with your partner to get better.
After competing against Flower Mound and Plano in the last dual meet, the Hawks have been preparing for the district meet taking place this weekend.
Going into districts, regionals, and state, our team needs to perform well, but it's not as a unit, it's not a unified unit. It's more as you just need to do your part to make our team points go up.
The team competes tomorrow morning at Louisville High School for the district title. Reporting for Hawk TV, I'm Courtney Foster. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Courtney. Wednesday was National Signing Day for college-bound athletes. Hebron has had 14 students sign letters of intent to play next year. That's it for today's broadcast. I'm Spencer Rojas.
And I'm Karen Machinelli. Have a great rest of your day.